What's up,
cracking,
everybody?
suckers and all you motherfuckers? Let's go. Hey, we're
Go
going
2023.
to a billion different things on my end and a billion different things on John's end. It's just not been
Mostly mine. Yes.
Everybody in the gym left. I had to teach a shit ton of classes this week. Like every other coach in the gym was gone except for 2.
Oh wow! For tournaments or quit or other
The fights in different places. One dude was on vacation. Whole bunch of stuff. So I worked more this week than I normally work as well.
Right. Got you.
Anyways, so this week we have UFC Fight Night, last minute Strickland versus Imavov, going up a weight class.
Yes. Yes.
John, tell me a little bit about this fight.
Let's start. Yeah, let's start with the main event before we get into some talking points. So I think an important thing is Imavov. He was getting ready for a totally different opponent. Strickland was game, and he stepped up on short notice, and he's going up in a weight class. He's getting ready though for a completely different dynamic, like in Kevin Gastelum. Gastelum is more active laterally. He's almost impossible to finish. He's really, he's tough. He's tough. He can do other things. He'll shoot. He's pretty well. He's been well rounded his whole career. Anywhere the fight goes, and he's just mega hard. With that being said, Imavov was probably like a -250 favorite, and now the fight's a pick'em. And I think that's because of the switch in styles. Like Sean Strickland is completely different. He's going to come forward, and he has an excellent jab. I know I picked against him against Cannonier because of the power punches of Cannonier and maybe getting outworked, but that was a really tough fight to score. It went Cannonier's way, and I think you're going to see the same thing here. Imavov he kind of struggled a little bit against Buckley when Buckley blitzed, but he was able to get some really clutch takedowns. Strickland's pretty hard to take down. And he's come forward. He doesn't move laterally, so he's going to bring the fight to Imavov. And Imavov has that power advantage, if he can sleep him like Alex Pereira did. But I don't know. That betting line to me, says Strickland's going to give him a world of problems, and Imavov has to hit enough power shots to win a decision or knock him out. I like Strickland.
So actually, I initially liked Strickland quite a bit. It feels like a situation where the young up-and-comer meets the wily old veteran and gets shown where the holes in his game are. And that is very much something that's still in play. Despite the fact that they're only 4 years apart in age, Sean Strickland has just been in the UFC for 42 years, even though he's 31 years old.
Your voice is really robotic. It's coming in really robotic. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's your connection as you're traveling, because you don't have pixelated now. But also, I speak in a robotic fashion.
Okay.
That being said, I am more and more impressed with Nasruddin Imavov. I started looking more when you watch him fight, he looks a lot like he's going to be a floaty striker the whole time. But then I started watching
I agree. He's very impressive.
He's good on the ground, and he's super active on the ground. Really active on the ground. Throws a lot of strikes on the ground. Is constantly looking for submission attempts. Like he has a very, very complete skill set. Dangerous, seemingly wherever he is. I don't know if we've seen him much off of his back. I'd have to go and recheck that.
Right.
That said, Sean Strickland wasn't in camp. Like he was just hanging out, and then he said, Sean Shelby offered me a lot of money, and I like him, so I said yes. That worries me.
Oh, terrible! Really?
A Sean Strickland that is in camp should be able to defuse the bomb that is Nasruddin Imavov. A Sean Strickland outside of camp that fought 3 weeks ago for 5 rounds when he shouldn't have even fought that one. I don't know, man. I'm picking Nasruddin Imavov.
Oh, I totally forgot about all that. Yeah, you're fucking right, dude. Wow, and you're really good. So Josh is really good at finding these big edges in these pick'em fights, and I think one of the reasons for that is he doesn't really pay attention to the betting lines. And I think you're fucking right here. I'm changing. Can I change my? Well, I'm gonna bet Imavov now. So can I change my pick because it doesn't make sense? Yeah, I don't. I didn't change all last year, but yeah, you're right. And oh my God, I'm dropping a bomb on Imavov. I think you're 100% correct here. Wow, let's go, make some money.
In 3 months, I think that Sean Strickland wins this fight at 185 pounds. I think Sean Strickland wins this fight. I think Imavov's bigger than Sean Strickland, even at 205.
Yeah.
Only thing is, Imavov's been cutting weight. He found out week of that he didn't have to cut weight anymore.
True.
So he's going to be in really good shape because he didn't. But anyways, regardless, our next fight is Dan Ige versus Damon Jackson. This is such a good fight, mostly because
I can't wait.
I love me some.
What a
Leach.
fight! Yeah.
All Leach fights are.
Yeah, David Jackson. I'm a fan of him as well. I'm a fan of Dan Ige as well. I think both of these guys are. I mean, they're well-rounded everywhere. I think you're going to see some pretty sick scrambles in this fight. I'd be pretty shocked if someone was able to control the grappling in this fight. Damn, man, I love to watch the Leach and all that. I just Dan Ige is just so he's fought everyone elite. Questionable decision loss against Josh Emmett, great fight. The only fight he looked bad against was the Zombie. And for whatever reason, Zombie switched up his style that fight. Zombie was able to score some takedowns in that fight. Ige does get taken down. You can take him down, but he's pretty good at getting. He's probably elite at getting back up. So yeah, I don't know. That is. We'll see, but I do love. I do love some of these guys, these lighter weights that are going to scramble and scrap because I can't move that fast. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Ige. But this is a tough fight, too. Awesome.
See, this one doesn't strike me as that difficult. Ige is good, but he's only got 50% takedown defense.
Yeah.
Against a wrestle first. Damon Jackson is relentless.
Mm-hmm.
Relentless with his takedowns. He's good for 2.6 per fight. That's more than double most good grapplers. I just called Nasruddin Imavov a good grappler who does really, really offensively well on the ground, and he has less than one takedown per 15 minutes. Damon Jackson has almost 3.
Right.
He's got a 40% accuracy, which is actually pretty high for someone who goes for as many takedowns as he does.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he doesn't succeed, he only has 40% takedown defense because he just wants to grapple with you. This dude, if he shoots on you, it wouldn't shock me to see him do the Damian Maia thing and pull guard out of it. Not quite literally, but like Ryan Hall. Oh my God, we're about to clinch. Let me just fall to my back and start working for legs. Damon Jackson can do that kind of stuff. I can't get this takedown. That's fine. Doesn't matter. We were supposed to be grappling anyways. Khabib could do that. You don't have to. He doesn't need that first shot to work. All he needs to do is touch you. As soon as he gets a collar tie on you, you're going to hit the ground. Doesn't matter if I start with the ankle, start with the knee, start with the body lock. Eventually, as long as we continue to grapple, I will win. That's the mindset of this guy, this type of person. And I think that he is going to be able to overwhelm Dan Ige. I don't think Dan Ige has the grappling skill to dominate in that realm. and I don't believe that he is going to punish the attempts hard enough to dissuade someone who is as tenacious as Damon Jackson. So I am picking Damon Jackson to break through his ceiling and emerge into the top 15.
All right.
Who'd you pick, or did I go first?
No, I took Ige, but I like your pick. It's a tough fight. I can't bet that fight, but yeah, go either way. So far, definitely a bet on Imavov. Who's next? Can we talk about the fight that's going to go off in like 3 minutes, real fast?
Yep. Which fight is that? The first fight? Jimmy Flick versus Charles.
Yeah. The first fight already happened, so I don't know who won, but so yeah,
Jimmy Argueta versus Nick Arguire.
Oh, that's the second fight. Okay, yeah, this is so this fight's pretty. This fight should be pretty one-sided. The line says so. There's a lot of one-sided matchups on this card. Actually, I think there's 3 out of the 4 big lines. Not much to talk about here. This is going to be Aguirre all day. Like Aguirre or Aguirre, I'm not sure how to say it, but yeah, Aguirre all day.
Nick Aguirre.
Yeah, all day. Yeah, he wins.
Interesting. He has 0 UFC fights. Yep. But he's 7-0. So I don't know, man. Real quick,
he's minus 600.
Oh, he's minus 600. This is stupid. I'm picking Dan the Determined, but I'm doing this just for our scoreboard. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, you don't have to. All right, next fight.
Down or up?
Let's Jimmy Flick, Charles Johnson. Let's talk about it.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
No, we did. Yeah, I don't think we talked about it on the air. No, 4:30. That fight goes off. I think it's the second fight.
No, that's the first fight of the night.
Oh, so it's over.
I don't have results.
Who won?
Here, I'll refresh. Charles Johnson won. First round KO.
You knocked Jimmy Flick out in the first round, so it was fixed. Wow, I think we should talk about this real quick. Just because the line got suspicious alerts from all over. The line opened up a pick'em, and in like 2 days, Charles Johnson went to like minus 600. And there was a lot of talk as Jimmy Flick is pulling Jimmy Flick is Jimmy Flick's pulling he's pulling a Derek Minner, and because he was very outspoken about when he left 2 years ago for fighter pay and such. That was so. I'm curious to watch the replay of that, and people were speculating that he's going to throw the fight. Then they talked about it'd be really foolish of him to throw the fight. He's coming back and trying to fight because he's struggling for money, so he needs to fight in the UFC and try to move up the ranks. But yeah, that's where that goes. So all right, Charles Johnson knocked him out. All right, let's move up. What do we got?
So third fight of the night, Alan Nascimento versus Carlos Hernandez.
Yeah, Alan Nascimento is. I thought his fight against Jake Hadley. I just thought Jake Hadley was. I mean, I've seen Jake Hadley look. He's awesome. I think I told you would love his style because he's like just keeps fucking throwing up submission. And yeah, but after watching Nascimento fight, I was like, oh man, he's just not. Maybe he's not that good. He was really neutralized. Didn't have many answers. But then Jake Hadley came back and he had a great performance and he looked great again. So maybe Nascimento is just a wizard himself on the mat and he's able to control, do things. So I'm not sure they'll have I'm not sure the Carlos Hernandez is going to have an answer for Nascimento. He's better everywhere the fight goes. So Nascimento should get the W. I'm not going to bet it. Nascimento's a pretty big favorite. I think he's minus 450, 500, but he should get the win.
I'm going to pick Hernandez because he has a high work rate. Only problem is he has some of the lowest takedown accuracy I've ever seen, and the majority of his wins on the regional scene are by submission, first round submission. So I don't know if he's got like stupid heavy hands and he was just wrapping up submissions off of that. But his record speaks to him being a grappler, and his statistics speak to him being unable to force grappling upon Nascimento. So, Nascimento. I'm not picking Hernandez. Nascimento.
Got you. All right. What do we got next?
I can't believe I talked myself out of my own in the middle. Anyways, Mateus Rebecki versus Nick Fiore.
Yeah, this is one of those fights where, like, you might see this in the UFC like 2 or 3 times a year in men's. Like, they're just, I mean, this is so, I mean, it's so one-sided. Like, I mean, this shouldn't be a fight. I think we saw it last year with the guy that fought Mike Jackson. Like, I mean, it's so ridiculous. Like, there's no man, there's just like no. I mean, this guy. So the guy, his opponent, Rebecki, is a really good. He was a lightweight. He's a lightweight. He's a champion in Poland. He's going against the guy who's 6-0, and I think 3 of his career wins are against Jay Ellis.
2 of them are against Jay Ellis.
Yeah, like it's so like his record is insanely padded, and I understand that he's a training partner of like Calvin Kattar, Rob Font, like and stuff. But no, I mean he's a jiu-jitsu first fighter against a guy who's an excellent wrestler and is an excellent grappler all around. I mean, and this guy can knock him out. Yeah, this is going to be So I have bets on Rebecki by finish minus 250. Rebecki round 1. I mean, I don't advise laying minus 800 in MMA, but I'm pretty sure Rebecki could win this fight with one leg. I'm pretty sure he can win. He would need a myocardial infarction to happen in the octagon to not beat this guy.
Nick Fiore, his opponents have been 5-19, 15-13, 8-4. Wow. Okay, that guy. 3-9, and then he fought Jay Ellis twice in a row in 2 different promotions, and he finished Jay Ellis in the first round both times. Yeah. And then, like, on the amateur scene, he fought a guy who was 5-2, 6-3, 6-8. You're supposed to 3-0. Like his amateur scene come up is correct.
I did notice that. Yeah, you're right.
His pro come up is rushed. So yeah, this is. I bet you he's taking this fight on short notice or coming.
He is. It's very short notice.
Just trying to get into the UFC, and they don't care.
Yeah, like they don't care about your well-being at all. But this is really good.
No. This is not the same thing. The easiest way to get into the UFC is to take a fight on short notice. If you want to set up your career, you take a fight on short notice, and if you get this law, it doesn't matter. The matchmakers will not hold that one against you.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
They will hold a different one against you. They won't hold that one against you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're right about that.
Intelligent decision. Yeah. He normally fights he's ranked at welterweight, and this fight's at 155. Like, there's all sorts of weird shit going on here. Rebecki's should, by all accounts, smash Nick Fiore.
Yeah. It's pretty.
Al Hassan, Claudio Ribeiro.
Yes. Wow. Now, I think this is going to be a fucking banger. I jumped on this fight to not go the distance. it's a pick'em's fight if you want a side. I think that's really hard because, so Al Hassan, he doesn't have to worry about grappling in this fight, but he's pretty much a one-round guy within that frame. His first, the first check, if you want to back Abdul Razak Al Hassan, does his opponent grapple? No, check. Can he win the fight in the first round? Yeah, check. Okay, you can bet him. Because he's not going to win any fight if it goes through the second and third round. I don't think he's done it yet in his UFC career. It's very hard. It's very hard for him to win a fight past the first round. He's going to knock you out. So with that being said, the younger up-and-comer that's not really looking to grapple either, but if he can dodge a bullet, he should be able to outwork because he's got volume. But the problem is he's got pretty poor striking defense, and I don't know if he's stepping up in class here. I would assume he was. He's definitely stepping up in power. Abdul Razak throws bombs. He kicks bombs. Judo Thunder, he's not taking you down. I don't know. He's just trying to knock you out. But, again, I see why it's a pick. It's tough to lean. I'm going to go with Abdul Razak just because he's got UFC experience.
Dude, no.
Damn it.
Claudio Ribeiro is going to smash him.
What?
They're the same dude. I don't know. They're the same dude, but Claudio Ribeiro has shown that he can go multiple rounds. He has a fight that he won in the 5th round, and he won it by exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then he's got another fight where he won by knockout in the 2nd round. Other than that, every single one of his fights, he has one loss by decision, and every other fight is in the 1st round. Bet the house on this fight ending in the 1st round. Literally in the 1st round.
Oh, wow. In the 1st round. Oh, that's that's a good bet. You might be able to get a decent, a small plus odds on that. But yeah, because the thing, 1st round. All right, fireworks. Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Hassan,
what do we got next?
Literally never won a fight outside of the 1st round. Never.
No, thank you for confirming. I'm pretty sure I saw that too. Yeah, it's crazy.
Only won 2 fights that went outside the 1st round. He's only been outside the 1st round 3 times. Bet the house on this is gonna end early. Mateus Mendaka versus, I don't know how to pronounce his Mendanaka versus Javed Basharat.
Oh yeah. Javed Basharat is, I've seen his fights. I totally respect his game. He's definitely up and coming. I respect his opponents too. I think this is going to be a really good fight. I know the line is skewed heavily towards Basharat, but I think some people are going to be surprised by. I think it's going to be competitive. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. There's so many things I like about the opponent, but he's facing Basharat, and Basharat is still, to me, as impressive as you thought about Imavov. I'm really impressed with Basharat. I think he's pretty special. So I can't pick against them. So I'm going to go with Basharat, but I don't think his opponent's a bum by no means.
So you need to go with Basharat. 100% pick Basharat. Here's the reason. The Brazilian, Mateus, he's 23 years old. He's only been fighting since 2019. But he trains at the same gym as Oliveira. So he has 11 fights in, just over 3 years. In February, March will be 4 years that he's been fighting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, so he took a big gap off. He didn't fight all of 2021 and most of 2022, and then he only fought once last year. Fought once last year, and that was on his Contender Series. Dude, I have never seen this guy fight, but I do not expect him to truly be ready for the UFC at 23 years old.
Yeah, he might not, but I do think you'll see some things out of him where you'd be like, oh wow, this guy's not a bum.
Cool.
But we'll see. What do we got next?
Our next competition is Ketlin Vieira versus Raquel Pennington.
Yeah, again, yeah, pick 'em fight, tough fight. I don't know what to. I don't know what to think of Ketlin Vieira. Like before, the knock on her is sometimes she shows up, sometimes she doesn't. Her fight IQ, she was really hyped and massive favorite in certain fights, and then sometimes she just against Yana Kunitskaya, like she just doesn't do anything. Like didn't throw any punches, just etc. Just doesn't do much. Tries to maintain top control, and if that didn't work out, like no other plan. I don't know what to like. Who's gonna what version of her shows up? Because Pennington is pretty resilient. She's also tough. Very hard to finish. Macy was beating her up in their fight, and you know what? She hung in there tough, and she ended up finding a submission. She's not going to submit Ketlin Vieira, I wouldn't think, but Ketlin Vieira is younger, she's stronger, she's bigger. If she can get the fight to the ground, I assume she's going to maintain the control. So I'll go with Ketlin. But tough fight.
Yeah, Ketlin really should win this fight. I can't think of any reason why she wouldn't win this fight, other than maybe experience, I guess. Like, she doesn't quite have as much experience with Pennington, and Pennington's been almost all of Pennington's fights are at the high level, are in the UFC too. I think this is Ketlin's fight to lose, but I've also picked against Raquel Pennington in almost every fight she's ever had. And, she's like 50-50 in the UFC. Definitely a Ketlin Vieira fight. Wait, what happened here? I think we just lost a fight somewhere. Our next fight. Oh, I skipped over Umar Nurmagomedov versus Raoni Barcelos.
Oh no, we're going to talk about that. So Umar opened up a -250 favorite. He's minus a fucking 1,000 at the current. He's going to fight at minus 1,000, which is fucking ridiculous. I mean, God, Raoni Barcelos he's usually a minus 500 favorite in his fights, and I know he got beat by Victor Henry that night, but I mean, Victor Henry was literally on fire that night. And they just went to war with a striking battle. And Victor Henry did everything right. He got outstruck. And sometimes it just happens. That's the game. Victor Henry came back to earth, crashing pretty hard his next fight. As, people jump behind him. He went off a pretty sizable favorite against a UFC veteran. And, he ended up getting, I think he got finished, or maybe not finished, but he lost for sure. I get it. They're Magomedov, the last name. Yeah, you got to respect them. They're all great. And Umar is extremely well-rounded, but so is Raoni. What does Raoni do bad? Not much. Fight IQ, I can see that. He's a slow starter. He definitely was a slow starter against what's the guy's name? Small Russian guy. He lost the decision. Timur Valiev. He lost that fight. He started slow, but
he beat another Nurmagomedov.
He did beat a Nurmagomedov, yeah. So if he wins this fight, he's going to be the Nurmagomedov hunter, I guess. But yeah, honestly, I don't know if I can pick Barcelos to win a fight, but it's mega fucking value. Throw a bet on him just to see what happens. Throw a unit on him. Don't go crazy, but I could easily see him winning a round and making this fight very interesting. Which, if you're backing a minus 1,000 favorite in the UFC, like he's bigger favorite than Rebecca is against a guy, and he's going to crush. The public's overreacting here. There's so much value on Barcelos. So, if you're going to bet, definitely throw a bet on Barcelos. This is a rare opportunity to just, hey, take a shot, throw a unit on whatever unit, 25, 50, $100, throw it on him, and just, maybe he gets there. But I'm going to pick Umar, but if for betting, no, I'm going to bet Barcelos.
I agree completely. with everything you said, and I refuse to add any other insight.
All right, next fight.
Haley Soriano versus Roman Kopylov.
I am severely unimpressed with Puna. Dolce won the first round against him on all 3 scorecards and looked really good. The problem was the poor bastard broke his rib, and his rib was hanging out of his body, and he was trying to hide it by not sitting down in between the first and the second round. He had to defend that, and he got knocked out. So Puna does have power. Kopylov fixed his gas tank issues last fight, and he came on strong. And I can't back Puna as a favorite. He's like minus 200, which to me is ridiculous. I don't know. Is Kopylov that great? No, but neither is Puna. So it's dog or pass for me, and I'm actually going to pick Kopylov. I'm going to bet Kopylov, and I'm going to pick him to win the fight.
Interesting. When I initially was like jotting down who I thought it was going to be, I wrote down Kopylov, and then the more I looked into them, the more I was not convinced that Kopylov would have it. So Punahele Soriano lands more often, has better accuracy, and gets hit less. Now, Kopylov has better defense. And this is going to be southpaw versus southpaw, so it's going to be a weird fight, and it's going to be a slow fight. But Kopylov doesn't want to fight on his back. His 2 losses, he got out-grappled. And in one of those, he got out-grappled by a K1 kickboxer. All right. Punahele is good for 1 takedown a round. He trains at a wrestling-first gym. He has very high takedown accuracy with 57%. That's very high.
There it is. Yeah, it froze. Very fair.
Like I don't mind a loss to Nick Maximov or a loss to Brendan Allen. Let me make sure that I got those right because I'm just looking at last names. I think yeah. Losing a decision to two dudes that grapple that well, no big deal. I don't remember those fights specifically, but there is no reason that Punahele Soriano should not win this fight against Roman Kopylov.
All right. I like it. It could go that way. What's next?
That is it. We started
That's it. All right.
At the bottom. Now we're here, someplace in the middle. We fucked him up in the middle too. This is the latest show we ever put out. I'm disgusted with us. I cannot believe we were.
No, I'm glad we did it. Fuck it. I like it.
But we got it done, and we have to get it done, and we have to be better next time. If you enjoy the content you've been receiving, if you guys have been making money, hey, John, what win percentage do you need in order to be a winning gambler?
Depending on the odds and everything you bet, if you're betting pick'em lines or like which are minus 110, minus 120 with the house edge, you want to hit it about 56% to turn a profit.
And our success rates were 55 and 56% over the course of a year.
Yeah, and if you want our betting, our algorithm and our bot, which we only give those picks out privately, please email us for further details. But our algorithm bot was hitting at over 65% last year.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. This time and every time. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, everybody.